Welcome to Mostly Sports. I'm Mark Titus. He is Brandon Walker. Today is Wednesday, October 4th. And what do you want to talk about, Brandon?
I want to talk about baseball.
Hold on a second. First of all, I don't have you in my headphones. Are these plugged in?
You have no snare? No snare in your headphones?
I have no snare in my headphones.
I have nothing in my headphones either, now that I think about it.
Huh?
But I am wearing them.
What's going on?
It's good that we tested them. Baseball. Baseball.
Can anybody hear us?
All right. What you do is you take a bang. Baseball.
Pantomime?
Baseball.
Yeah, the worst part about the chat, the stoolies in the chat, is that they will say that the audio doesn't work even when it does. So that this is not going to be helpful.
Yes.
People are saying we can't hear you.
I can hear you guys right now.
You can hear us?
Yeah.
So it's just our headphones.
You know what? Why don't we talk about baseball?
Because I can't hear you.
Okay.
It sounds like you're muffled. And
You guys want to talk about baseball?
Can you hear me, Brandon?
I can. Kind of. I don't know if I can hear you or if I can hear.
This is what we're going to do the whole show, is just try to find two sets of headphones.
No snare in my headphones.
This one works. This one
does?
doesn't. Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm checking to see if the audio works.
I got an ad.
Well, yeah, what kind of ads you got over there?
That's for our friends at Body Armor.
All right, my headphones work. That's all that matters.
Good.
Let's go.
So ask me again.
Brandon, what do you want to talk about?
Baseball.
Baseball.
Yeah.
Did we really make the title of this episode, Is Rob Manfred the best commissioner
Well,
in
you know
sports?
what? I had something to do with that, Titus. I told TJ to make it that because everybody in sports loves to hate a commissioner. Why am I so far away?
You keep scooching into me.
We love to pretend commissioners are the worst people in sports. But let me make a case for Rob Manfred, who is universally thought of as a nincompoop, a dullard, a simpleton, an idiot. Correct?
Yep.
Everybody thinks that.
Yep.
He's hated, right?
Yep. Go on. Yes, I agree.
Baseball attendance was at a 30-year high this year. It was up 10%. Baseball.
Great show out from the Rays fans yesterday.
Rays fans are Rays fans,
Just-
okay? That's on them.
They caught playoff fever.
That's
for
on
sure.
them.
Yes. Go on.
Attendance is up. TV ratings are at a 30-year high. The games fly by. It is much more watchable than it has been in years. So why is he a terrible commissioner?
How much of the playoffs did you watch yesterday?
I watched about as much as you would think I watched. I watched a little bit. I watched an inning here and an inning there. I watched the inning of the Brewers game. I watched an inning of the Rays game.
Rob Manfred, the Houston Astros cheated. It's documented proof that they cheated. They won a World Series by cheating, by literally cheating. And this is a sport where Barry Bonds is not in the Hall of Fame. Pete Rose is not in the Hall of Fame. Like, this is the most pearl-clutching sport that exists.
Yeah.
And the Houston Astros, documented cheaters, won a World Series. Rob Manfred, the commissioner of the sport, said, just a hunk of metal. that alone disqualifies him from really. Any job. Any job.
But here's the thing, Titus.
Never mind being the commissioner of baseball.
I feel like it's me pointing in college football and saying, that team that won in 2008, they were paying for recruits and they shouldn't be rewarded that championship. Well, guess what? Everybody was paying for recruits, just like everybody was doing what the Astros were doing.
If there was a college football we have that proof. Like, Reggie Bush cheated. They took away his Heisman, and it's stupid. The rules are stupid. But, like, if you had a guy in power that was running the NCAA And you presented a case to this guy, and you were like, listen, the Georgia Bulldogs last year, they won the national championship, but here is the proof that they were breaking the rules. And he went, man, I don't really give a fuck, to be honest with you. That guy should probably not be running the NCAA. Now, I understand the fans. We as fans we are allowed to do that, to say, who cares? It was more fun. Who cares? Barry Bonds took steroids. It made it more fun for me to watch, all that sort of thing. But you can't have the commissioner of the league not care. Then what's the point of you existing? Get him out of here.
All I'm saying, Titus, is everybody in the world says Rob Manfred's the best commissioner in all of everything, and they hate him, they hate him, they hate him, they hate him, they hate him. Baseball's in a pretty good spot right now.
So
is baseball in a good spot?
It's in a better spot because you want to give this guy credit for modernizing.
I'd like to give him credit for doing good things.
For doing something he should have done, like this league should have done 30 years ago.
Nobody in baseball was doing it for years and years. They kept sending pitchers to the plate and doing that boring ass shit. For years and years, they kept doing all these old things.
For years and years, it was awesome. People loved it. And then TikTok came, and then the Chinese invented TikTok to kill the Pac-12, and everyone's attention span nosedived.
So you're saying the Chinese not only took out the Pac-12, they also took out baseball?
They also took out baseball. Yeah.
What else?
The Chinese hate the Japanese. The Japanese are good at baseball too. This wasn't just an American thing for them. They were like, if we invent TikTok, we will fucking
so
take
they got
out
a
the Japanese.
2-for-1 special.
They got a 2-for-1 special
Japanese
on TikTok.
and American.
Yeah, and the Pac-12.
It's like sushi and burgers all in one.
Yeah.
Huh. I would go to
Think
that
about
restaurant.
it. Use your brain, people. No, Rob Manfred stinks. Rob Manfred fucking sucks. But I'll entertain your idea that the commissioners we hate could be good. Like Roger Goodell is a good commissioner. Roger Goodell might be the GOAT commissioner.
It opens up a larger conversation that people have conditioned themselves for some reason to hate commissioners. No man is more hated than Roger Goodell. He's a good-ass commissioner.
He's a good commissioner because the NFL, the interest in the NFL is never been bigger. Through the pandemic, when like everyone like changed every ounce of their behavior and is like, I don't want to do that anymore, and suddenly this matters to me. And like the NFL was like the one consistent thing that was like people are still going to watch that. They're still going to be tuning into that. I think Goodell is. Listen, I don't like the guy per se. I think he's a I don't want to say he's a shitty person, but like the reasons people hate the guy I think are valid. But when you look at the overall health of the league, it's pretty obvious that
people
he's really, really good at.
Are booing him on stage while backstage there's 10 elves just printing money on a machine.
People are in the tattoo parlor getting like a Steelers tattoo on their calf.
Right. Yes.
While they're tweeting, "Fuck Roger Goodell, this piece of shit." And but they care more about the NFL than ever before. And the flip side of that is Adam Silver, who like the NBA media is gassing up as like the greatest dude. You know, it's like finally a commissioner who gets it because he'll like when guys get drafted, he'll dap them up.
Right.
You know, on stage, and it's like, damn, he gets it. This guy fucking gets it.
Everybody likes him.
And then the league
and
stinks.
players don't play anymore.
The players don't play anymore. And then Adam Silver finds himself in a position where he's like, I have to now put in a rule that professional basketball players must play basketball.
Not only that, but here's how I'm going to fix the league right now. I'm going to.
And then Brandon Walker comes on Mostly Sports and says, I actually like that league.
Well,
I like that league more than
listen,
college basketball.
Players don't play anymore, and here's how we're going to fix it: in-season tournaments. Huh? Who says no?
Yeah.
What with that? I do love the NBA, and I love college basketball, and you have misinterpreted what I've said about that. I love them both. But in-season tournaments, really, that's how we're throwing that problem out there?
The funny thing about the in-season tournament is the NBA people don't even really know what it is. The NBA people are like, we don't really know.
It's just going to feel like another regular
season. I think the
game,
tide has kind of turned on Adam Silver with I don't think he's like disliked, but I do think the days of because like Adam Silver takes over from Stern. People didn't really love Stern as much, but Stern, like we've been talking about with Goodell,
Stern.
They respected Stern, and also Stern is pretty unequivocally the GOAT NBA commissioner. I mean, this man.
Well, I'm still mad at him for the 2006 or 7 playoffs, I believe, when Boris Diaw and Amari Stoudemire walked one half step towards the fight.
Yeah,
didn't go to the fight, and he still suspended them.
Because you can't have.
He won the Spurs a championship.
You got to clean up the game.
The Suns were going to win that championship.
This is the mark of a good commissioner. There's rules.
Suns Cavs in 2007 would have been such a much better finals.
This isn't non-smoky. There are rules. You cross the line, you get suspended.
What'd you call me?
You never seen Big Lebowski?
No.
Oh, damn.
I have a list of movies I haven't seen, and I need to see them. Usual Suspects is on that list. We should
probably start with like the list of movies you have seen, the things you have done, and what other than professional wrestling have you watched in your life?
I saw the movie Ready to Rumble, and I've seen The Wrestler with.
No, those I think those are both Those are both professional wrestling.
Cosby Show.
Cosby Show, yes. I do love the Cosby Show. And pretty much all NBC sitcoms. Fresh Prince, Cheers, Blossom, all of them.
When people tell you should watch the show, I'm not even talking about me. I'm just talking about people in your everyday life, and they're like, Brandon, you should watch. You know what movie you should watch? Mm-hmm. Lightyear. You would love it. When someone gives you a recommendation, like
I immediately ask, is there a gay in it? No.
Do you? And they're like, you would love it, and you're like, yeah, I'll check that out. What are the chances you're gonna actually check that out? Just in general.
51%.
Really?
I've checked out many things. I just got it when everybody this summer was going crazy over Suits on Netflix. I checked out Suits.
You did?
I gave it a look. Yeah, it was fine.
What have you done with my Righteous Gemstones?
I'm going to watch that, but here's the thing: it's in the queue behind Sopranos. I think I've decided to give Sopranos a whirl.
We're anti-mob stuff.
I am, but I might just give it a shot. I don't know. My mama liked it.
Yeah.
If my mama liked it,
it's a good show. It's just like I don't think the mob shows and movies and everything else are bad. I think they're good. I just think that them being a mob show does not enhance it.
But it has a character named Big Pussy, and that's all I could ever get.
Yeah.
So that kind of draws me to it.
The big pussy.
I can only get big pussy. Yes. Big pussy. Yeah, like billboard-sized pussy. Pussy's always fun to joke about. We're talking about
commissioners.
Well, let's talk about the actual day of baseball yesterday because that was boring as shit, right?
Well, I'm pro one game wild card. How does the room feel about this? How does the room feel? I think yesterday with my team not being in it and I'm just a neutral fan and I threw on the TV and I'm watching and I was like, you know what this could. Yeah. What we could use is more stakes. We could use I like
sudden death to
we
it.
need the sudden death. That was actually awesome.
We want to be a gladiator and we want to give the thumbs down to kill him.
I understand it's like antithetical to baseball where you play like 162 games to figure out who the best teams are. Now it all comes down to this one game. But like that's what sells in this country. That's what works.
Death.
Like this death. Yeah. One of these teams is gonna die. Yeah.
What do you think about that? As both a victor and a victim of the one-game wild card, it's an awful viewing experience as a fan. I enjoyed 0% of it as a fan of the team because you are just stressed.
But when you win it, though.
But when you're not the fan of the team, when you're watching two other teams, it's so much better.
Yeah. If you're like a casual fan, it's the best experience ever. But if it's your team playing that game, it is the worst fan experience ever because you never enjoy it for a second.
Because baseball so rarely has that one game that's like, all right, it's now or fucking never.
Yeah.
And that one-game wild card does give it to you.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like Game 7, and your stomach's just turning from the first pitch.
It gets your blood pressure hot all day. It's very exciting.
Especially if you're the better team. If you're the worst team, that's awesome because you're like, we could take down, like the Atlanta Braves win 1,000 games in the season, and wait, if we just beat them today, they're out.
You're like a 5 seed playing a pesky 12 seed.
Yeah.
Like you're better than them, but
anything can happen in one day.
It didn't feel right back in like when they first instituted it, and the NL Central teams all have like 97 wins, and it's like, oh, do the Pirates like really not deserve to be in this year? They won 97 games. Like, they probably.
I remember that. Yeah, and then the Cubs beat them, right?
Yeah, they probably should.
Jake Arrieta just like mowed them down in Pittsburgh. If I remember
that run from Arrieta was crazy. But like, was it fair to the Pirates? Probably not. But like, was that more exciting? Absolutely.
Arrieta was probably on steroids. I'm gonna say that softly. So
I didn't. It's a good thing my headphones aren't working.
Jake Arrieta, just like
I mean, there's been several
out
pitchers.
Of nowhere became.
There's been several pitchers lately that like peaked real quick and then just like Corey Kluber, way up here, and then.
The thing about Arrieta too was I vividly remember his ascension and it was credited to fitness and they would show him like warming.
I'll tell you a picture.
They would show him warming up in the outfield, and he's doing like pigeon pose, and they're like, this guy's really into yoga, and that's why he's.
Yeah.
And then I follow Jake Arrieta on Instagram still, and Arrieta is just like shredded to the gills now, like in his post baseball life. But hell of a pitcher, man.
He's not a coworker. He used to be a coworker.
Used to be a coworker, right?
Yeah, I don't think they're doing that anymore.
Okay, well I said he used to be a coworker, and then you said no.
And
he did in fact used to be a coworker.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a picture. Right. I'll tell you a picture we haven't heard anything from in a while. Trevor Bauer. What happened to that guy? So when it all went down a couple years ago, and this is the truth about sports media, boy, they were loud. Man, they were loud.
When it all went down.
I
love the best way to phrase.
When it all went down.
When that sticky situation popped up.
The media did absolutely just roast Trevor Bauer. Trevor Bauer's this. Oh, my God, get him out. He's terrible. And then it comes out that there was a settlement without money involved, and it looks like he's got proof that there was nothing bad here, and the media is just saying nothing.
Huh.
No, I'm serious. Like that's a real thing.
Huh. Weird. That's weird.
Why do you think that's weird? Why are you mocking that?
That's sarcasm, Brandon.
But why are you mocking that idea?
I'm not mocking you. I'm mocking.
Oh, you're mocking them
I'm on your
doing
side.
it. Okay, yeah. I thought you were mocking me pointing it out. I thought it was a mockumentary.
No, I'm backing you. Not every time either one of us open our mouths, we have to fight each other. You understand that? That's what my favorite part before we launched the show was when people would ask what mostly sports is going to be, and I was like, we're just going to be two guys talking ball. We're just going to be shooting the shit, chewing the fat, just having some fun. And Brandon's like, debate show. We're going to get into the fucking Thunderdome and hash out the issues.
Yeah. With me involved, it's called unhealthy debate.
Is that what we're doing? I was backing you up. I was like, yeah,
no, you're right.
These
You're right.
People are hypocrites.
You're right.
They're all hypocrites except for me. When I'm wrong, I will tap my chest. I will raise my hand and I will say I'm wrong. Now, unfortunately for most of the viewing public, I'm not wrong often. So it doesn't.
You're an elite choice maker.
I'm an elite choice maker. But when I am wrong, I will step up and face the music. It's just it doesn't happen that often. So my haters say you never take it on the chin when you're wrong, and I'm just like, well, I'm not really.
How many haters do you have?
I have a lot. Yeah, I have too many. Yeah. But I got a lot of fans too. I got my.
If you don't have haters, you don't have fans.
I got my tight asses. That's what we call ourselves. That's what they call themselves, the tight asses. Shout out to the tight asses out there.
You guys are tight asses?
Yeah. I'd say so.
Did you see that Marlins man is a fraud?
Okay.
How much does this bother you?
Not even a little bit, because Marlins man has just never mattered to me at all. However,
he's never bothered you ever.
However, he can't call himself Marlins man anymore, can he?
No.
If he's,
I think he can, but if
the Marlins are in a playoff game and he's at a playoff game and it's not one the Marlins are playing at, he's not really Marlins man.
It's a fraud. It's fraud behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? Were you scared of Marlins man when you're playing the Marlins, right?
Yeah.
And he didn't show up. He went to Milwaukee. Why did he go to Milwaukee?
This was his explanation. I don't know what.
COVID-19 is over.
First of all, COVID-19 is not over. It is still surging in a lot of places. So let's go ahead and tag that as misinformation.
Yeah.
Go on.
Well, COVID's not over because it never existed. No more ballpark restrictions. I don't think there's been ballpark restrictions in 2-3 years now.
Yeah.
I'm in Milwaukee for Brewers and D-backs. Thought was to be Marlins, travel plans made. If he's got the money to be going to all these games, which I guess, he does, he couldn't have changed the plans?
Yeah, that's what I was confused about too. You can't just sell the ticket and then, you can't pivot. And also, if you're really a Marlins fan, why would you have not thought the Marlins had a chance of making it? Why would you not?
Also,
it's all very.
If you're a Marlins fan, why not wait until you see what their final destination is before you purchase the tickets?
Yeah, I know the Marlins surged late to make the playoffs, but it wasn't that ridiculous.
Do you think
they were always kind of hovering in the conversation?
Will he be in Philly today, or will he be in Milwaukee again today?
I have no idea, but if he is going to be in Philly, it's going to be a problem for him. Not in terms of he's going to be hurt, but it's going to be a rough showing.
No, it does feel like
sounded
no.
What the fuck was that?
What the fuck was that?
Don't walk back now.
I'm just saying he's not going to watch a fun baseball game. It's going to be a beatdown.
No. Say it like you said it at first.
I said it's going to be a problem.
If he's there, it's going to be a problem.
No. I meant. I'm not Stephen Shea here.
Are you advocating for
Marlins? No, not at all. I'm saying it is going to be a rough game, and yes, he might take some slack. I'm not saying he's going to get, put into an ambulance. I'm just saying.
But if he did, that would be unfortunate.
No.
I'm just looking at Marlins man Twitter. His last tweet before yesterday was just, "Hey, commit."
Oh,
yeah.
At Mia Khalifa, plus she roots for FSU. Lucky charm.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
Wow.
I've not followed the Marlins man saga closely, but
there's not really a saga. He's a guy that wears a bright orange shirt and goes to baseball games and sits behind home plate.
He goes to everything, doesn't he?
Makes it all about himself. Yeah. And I think not that I liked it or not or whatever, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, he's just a Marlins fan. He's just a super Marlins fan, and maybe the Marlins aren't relevant, so he wants to go to these other sporting events. But now the Marlins are in the playoffs, and he's not at the Marlins game. That's fraudulent.
What man could we be if we wanted to create a man? Expos man. Expos man would fuck.
Yeah, what fan base doesn't have the super fan right now?
Yeah, we got to pick a Kraken man. We'll just wear a Kraken jersey everywhere.
There's a vacuum for becoming the man, like Jeff D-Lo did with the Vegas Knights when they lost.
Florida State Seminoles, maybe. For you?
Yeah. You should do that. You should be the
Seminoles man.
You just put you do a little cosplay. Yeah. You go to Florida State games.
You mentioned Jeff D-Lo. The weirdest fandom at this entire company. He's a Cleveland Browns fan.
Yep.
A Penn State Nittany Lions fan.
Yep.
Only Penn State football.
Penn State football. UConn basketball.
Yeah. UConn basketball fan. Vegas Golden Knights fan.
Yeah.
It's pretty. And Cleveland Guardians.
I believe in Austin FC MLS team.
Austin FC.
How do you land at all those?
He's got every time zone represented, I think.
Pretty smart. He could go at any moment. He could just go across the country and
you know what I love about him most is, and I know Jeff's watching. That's why. Shout out to Jeff, by the way, Jeff D-Lo. What I love about it most is that he's just as passionate about, like, he just like decided I'm gonna be a Vegas Knights fan, and then like game one he's like, control the fucking puck, what are we doing? God damn it! And then like the
that's the one thing
they lost their 6th game of the season, and he's like, this always happens to us. We're fucking. He's like
canceled
Frank,
the dozen.
He's Frank Fleming. He's just like, we'll never win a cup.
That's the one thing people have told me, get into Premier League soccer, and I've always been like, I really want to get into Premier League soccer. Pick a team. Okay, I pick a team. I don't care.
You don't care, and I
can't make myself care.
I don't want to gatekeep fandom, but also it's exactly what I'm going to do. If you're an American and you just picked the Premier League team and you pretend, and I say this as a guy who did it too. I was playing FIFA a lot, and I was using Man United because I fell in love with Wayne Rooney at the 2006 World Cup because he was just an ugly son of a bitch and was just like trying to fight everybody. Yeah. And he was 18 years old, and I was like, I thought soccer players were pussies, but this guy wants to fight everybody. So then I started watching Man United, and I kind of tried to do that thing where I was the fan, and I lasted like a half season. And then I just kept looking in the mirror. I'm like, what are you doing? You don't actually care. Like, I have no idea what the difference between Manchester and Liverpool and London is.
I picked Wolverhampton a couple of years ago because they have far and away the best logo and color scheme, I think.
Yeah.
And turns out they're just god awful. They're bottom of the table every year, and really not even supposed to be in the Premier League. They might not even be there anymore, but I picked them because they got the best logo.
You can't really,
I don't care.
You can't really pick a team and then dive in. You just kind of have to watch soccer and
let the team pick you. But how long you got to watch before that happens?
I don't know. You just kind of let it happen, and you eventually start to like teams and not like others. And some guys flop too much, and some owners are.
There's the rub, though. If I don't have a team and I'm watching Liverpool against
Leicester City,
Snotting Bay. If I'm watching Snotting Bay against Liverpool,
Snotting Bay got regulated.
Okay,
they're in
City.
If I'm watching
Snotting City,
if I'm watching Snotting City, why would I care to watch? I'm not going to watch a 1-0 game if I don't have a rooting interest.
But you get that's how I operate. Who's your NBA team? That's how I operate.
Whoever LeBron James plays for.
You're not.
I'm a LeBron James guy.
The worst part about that is you're not kidding.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
NBA.
The worst part about that is you're not kidding.
I became a Dolphins fan in 1984, and I've been a Dolphins fan my whole life, a Braves fan my whole life. NBA, I like Larry Bird when he was with the Celtics. Then I kind of like Michael. I've always just been a players guy, right? So
why don't you do that? That's how you do it with the Premier League, is what I'm saying.
I don't know any of the players.
How are you going to know the players? Watch the game.
Okay,
tell me. You just watch the game.
All right, I'm now a fan of whichever Premier League team that Mbappe plays for.
Not in the Premier League.
Okay, Messi then.
Nah.
Not in the Premier League.
So how is it the Premier League then? It seems like somebody's lying.
It's a good point. I mean,
if they found better leagues,
could Alabama beat a Premier League team? Is what you're saying? Is a Premier League team really that good?
These questions need to be asked.
Yeah, you just got to watch, and then the team finds you. I think that's how I operate with the NBA. Like the Oklahoma City Thunder, they're a fun young team. I wouldn't say I was a Thunder fan when Durant was on the team.
I do the same thing. I
am a Thunder fan.
I fall in love with certain teams and certain styles of play. Like 2002 Kings, those early 2000s Kings with Webber and with Bibby and with White Chocolate at first, and then Bobby Jackson. I love those teams.
Yeah.
And then they broke up. I didn't care about the Kings.
Yeah.
So
I was a Lakers fan when Shaq and Kobe were stuck. Like I like Shaq. I wanted to see him win a championship. Kobe was like a fun young player.
Yeah.
Then when they started getting over the hump and winning everything, it was like, all right, maybe I can move on to something else now because they kind of got theirs.
I think in basketball, I'm really just more of a fan of styles of play.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Everything you're saying would apply to soccer, by the way. Literally everything.
But
you're
I
saying
love
would apply.
basketball.
Yeah, I think that might be the issue. I
Right.
think that's what we're running. I think what we're learning is that you just kind of hate soccer. One more baseball thing I wanted to talk about. I need Ebo to explain this to me.
Ebo,
Because this is an intersection of Ebo's interest. It is a baseball story. It is a nerd story. But I watched these clips of the Mariners. Who is this? Their GM, Jerry DePoto.
Yeah.
Stuff this guy in a locker. Who the fuck is this guy? Like what's going on with these? Like he's basically saying like we're not trying like.
what
I
do you
don't
be
know.
saying?
So, do we have a clip of it?
What
Watch
do you be
this.
saying?
Those teams that win 54% of the time always
audio
wind
so
up
bad.
in the postseason, and they more often than not wind up in World Series. So there's your bigger picture process. Nobody wants to hear the goal this year is we're going to win 54% of the time, because sometimes 54% is some. One year you're going to win 60%, another year you're going to win 50%. It's whatever it is. But over time, that type of mindset
What this
gets
dude
you
be
there.
talking
If
about?
What you're doing is focusing year to year.
This is the most
All right,
boring
so-
clip of all time.
Well, that's the point. So what he's trying to say. So the Mariners missed the playoffs, right, Ebo?
Correct.
They did not make the playoffs.
You don't have to check with Ebo about that. We know who's in the playoffs, and it's not the Mariners.
I'm trying to get everyone involved. I'm
Okay.
a good point guard.
Dishing
Get some
the ball,
touches.
dishing the ball.
Get some touches.
Get some
Just
shots up here,
touches.
And
Ebo.
I
Shots up.
dribble handoff and I give it back to
Give
you.
it back
ready.
to me. So the Mariners missed the playoffs. The GM is facing the music. He's talking about why the Mariners missed the playoffs, and he basically says our goal is not to win the World Series. Our goal is to win 54% of our games. I'm talking to you, Brandon.
I thought you were talking to Ebo. I thought you were giving the ball to Ebo.
I was explaining what was going on, and I was using Ebo as hell. It's mostly do we have the tape? Can we put Ebo's name on here?
That's not my fault.
How is it not your fault?
That play wasn't being run for me. That play wasn't being run for
We
me.
just watched the clip. You said,
I
"What the
was
hell?"
setting
You
a
said,
screen.
"You said this was boring.
No,
What's
no,
going
no, no.
on here?"
That's not my fault, Coach.
Brandon,
I was setting the screen.
Brandon, we watched the clip. You said this is boring. What's going on here? I was now explaining
It
to you
was
what was
boring.
going on.
I checked out.
So I was explaining to you what was going on in the clip, and I was using Ebo as help.
But I thought he was getting the ball. You told me he was getting the ball out of the timeout.
Never mind. Move on to
No, I
something else.
want Ebo, tell him.
This guy, the Mariners GM is saying our goal is not to win the World Series here. Our
Correct.
goal is to win
54% of our games. Yes. But he's also saying sometimes that wins you the World Series. He said that.
So his goal is to win 54% of the games and then hope to win the World Series. And he's
Right.
telling this to a fan base. He's like, fans don't want to hear it. I know
Yeah.
we just missed the playoffs, but that's okay because we win 54% of our games. What the fuck is that?
I think he knows he can say that in Seattle. If he were the GM in Philadelphia,
Yeah.
he'd be run out of town on
But
a
this
rail.
is I understand your point that like baseball interest has never been higher and like
Yeah.
it's back and all this, but baseball this is a baseball problem is that Moneyball ruined baseball. The nerds.
Now, this is a point.
This is a point is that baseball for 1,000 years baseball was you put the chaw in, you scratch your nuts and you hit fucking dingers and
Yeah.
that's baseball. And somewhere along the line, some fucking dork in Oakland was like, I have a spreadsheet. And then everyone's like, all right, well, I'm
Yeah.
going to get in on that.
And then Hollywood's like, let's make a movie.
Let's make a movie. And then now, like, this whole sport is run by dorks like this guy who gets in front of a fan base when you just missed the playoffs and says, actually,
Yeah.
this isn't even that bad because we're trying to win 54% of our games. We're not trying to win World Series. Shut the fuck up, dude.
Well-
Like, I would a million times out of a million rather do the San Francisco Giants thing where, like, they would win the World Series, then they would suck the next year.
Yeah.
Then they win the World Series. Like, that is a far more enjoyable baseball experience than, like, the guy shrugging his shoulders and being like, we're the Indiana Pacers of baseball. We're going to make the playoffs every year, but we're not going to do anything once we get there. Like, who wants to hear that as a fan?
Well, let me check with Ebo on this. Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like the Mariners had a roster this year that probably should have won more than 54% of their games. Like
They're 90. They were probably
put
a 90
together
win team.
decently,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, they had a good starting rotation and they had like good young players and stuff. So, yeah.
So if
can
they've
make
got if they got the Rodriguez, right? They got these good young players. They got this good rotation. Why is the GM saying our goal was to win 54% of the time? Because I feel like he put it together to win a lot more than that.
So I think his goal is basically saying, on average, for the next 10 years, we're going to win 54% of our games. You can build variance into that, right? So he's like, if we are on average a 54% team win, we will have seasons where we go above 60%, seasons where we go.
But why
50%.
can't you say this in English? Why can't you just be like,
Right.
look,
Don't say
our
build
goal,
variance.
our goal is to just have a consistently great franchise.
Well, I was complaining about him saying build variance. I didn't like that.
No, that's what I.
Yeah,
I
They're
I
like
don't
they're like
either.
the Fed. Their target win percentage is 54%.
I think baseball being back and the ratings exploding and all that is that they have taken efforts to get the nerds out of the game, and I think we got to go stronger on that. I think like eliminating the shift.
You're just spitting now.
I think
Right.
the mound visits, like limiting those. We're like, stop fucking overthinking this shit. Just step up and play some goddamn baseball, right?
Every player
Right.
has to
No,
have,
you're right.
have red man in. Every
player.
every batter.
Yeah.
Wait, do they still call it red man? Because that seems problematic too.
Is that? I don't know.
That feels,
I mean, if we're getting rid of other things, I feel like Red Man
that does
Tobacco should be
feel-
on the chopping
That
block.
feels pretty.
Unless we're sponsored by them, in which case, go Red Man.
I'm gonna go ahead and guess we're not sponsored.
Yeah,
by
probably
Red Man.
or anybody. Well,
Actually, we are
so far-
sponsored by somebody.
We sure are. We sure are. The good people at Cars.com. A leading digital marketplace connects car shoppers with their perfect car, celebrating 25 years of helping shoppers research, find inventory, finance, and sell cars wherever life takes you next. Whoever you're looking to be, there's a car for that on Cars.com. Up to 50,000 cars are added daily to Cars.com. Over 2 million possibilities are out there on Cars.com every single day. Find your next possibility on Cars.com. Where to next?
I got one for Connor. This is a request.
I did see that.
You
I
saw
did see this one. Yeah.
we should shout this guy out. Let me pull up the tweet. Some guy tweeted us last night. Tag Connor in it.
Freckle Fart 69.
So many mentions to scroll through. God, so many mentions.
Your mentions always be popping off.
So many mentions. The request was a Texas A&M yell leader.
Oh, God. Okay.
I'd have to stand up for this one.
It was very
Yes.
the Murphy Dog. Shout out to the Murph Dog 23016.
TJ, can we get an example of a Texas A&M yell leader real quick for the people? Yeah, hold on. Just so
Get it.
people know what we're dealing with, because
Yeah, we
I
need
think
the
most
point of
people
reference.
probably do.
There was a video in that.
I can send it to you,
Tweet.
TJ.
What was his name? Murph Dog.
Murph Dog.
Oh, he's a frequent flyer with us.
Great
he?
name.
Yeah. He's been with us.
I am noticing that.
We got a lot of
I get
frequent
a lot
flyers.
of
Cliff
the,
DiMartino. That's not the only one. There's a lot of them.
yeah, the unnecessary roughness account tweeted the video. That's what he replied to.
There's a
TJ.
guy yesterday that tweeted at me about my dead dad, and then he deleted it. But it was fine. It was it was fine. You can do that. You absolutely can do that.
Yeah, the more you talk about that, the more you're inviting people to think that they are allowed to.
Well, that's fine. Rico
in
does
on
it. Like it's fine. My dad is dead. He was on drugs.
These are facts.
Yeah, or the two linked probably. I mean, the man's brain was fried. It was basically a fucking tortilla by the end. So, what are you gonna do? You do that much cocaine though, you do that much meth. Really, early in life it was the cocaine, and then it turned into the meth. Once meth became a drug in the 90s, he was like, I'm all in. I am all in to meth. Lost all his teeth and stuff.
Ever loving,
There we go.
compound, complex, fighting Texas Aggie. Tomorrow we bounce back. Fighting Texas Aggie. Happy birthday, Kip. For living,
Did you say happy?
Ever
What was that?
loving.
Happy birthday, Kip.
Happy birthday, Kip.
Oh,
compound,
Kip.
complex, fighting Texas Aggie. Tomorrow we bounce back. Fighting Texas
Oh,
Aggie.
God, this
Happy
is-
birthday, Kip.
Why? Mark, why?
I have no idea. I'm trying to find the video. I went to when I was at Fox. We went to one of these.
Yeah.
And they shot me watching it. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, my jaw is just dropping. Like, what the fuck is this?
Let's actually go into the thought process, because years and years and years ago, every college football team across the country said, you know what, on the sidelines, we're going to have the boys out there playing football hard. On the sidelines, let's get some attractive young ladies that yell some cheers and do great things and pump
Yeah.
everybody up, and they're just pleasing and everything. And Texas A&M got in their boardroom like, oh, no.
Yeah.
I'll be goddamned if that happens here.
We're gonna woo!
Woo! And grab each other's nuts.
Woo!
And then their male cheerleaders wear the fucking milkman outfits. Okay, so
That's
there
what
you
you're
go.
doing. Go ahead.
Cars.com.
Yeah, I got to stand up for this one.
All right. Would you like me to hold your mic?
No, that's all right. I can.
I don't think we have enough slack on the mic.
Yeah, that's okay. All right. So by now, You've probably heard of Cars.com. It's a leading digital marketplace that connects car shoppers with their perfect car. Celebrating 25 years of helping shoppers research, find inventory, finance, and sell cars. Wherever life takes you next, and whoever you're looking to be, there's a car for that on Cars.com. Up to 50,000 cars are added daily to Cars.com. Shop over 2 million cars for 2 million possibilities. CARS.com. Cars, 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 cars.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
He's back.
Good.
He's back.
That was a good request, too.
Yeah, that's a
Good-
great
good on
request.
everybody right
Shout
there.
out Murph Dog.
Murph Dog.
Great request.
Good job by everybody.
That was good.
Before we get into other sports, I got
Here. I sent TJ the video. This is my face at the. Watch this.
It's like the NBA players when they're watching the Fergie national anthem.
Yeah. What the fuck is what? Oh, it's
all right.
it's a Klan rally basically. I mean, I was like, dude, this is fucking wild. It's a
I do like that you got in costume, though.
That was a great fit.
yeah. That was my thing. I bought all of that like that morning,
Yeah.
and then
Before we get back into sports, I must remind you that it is, in fact, Wednesday,
oh yeah, it is.
which means, I don't know if you guys know, it is time for the Tommy Walker Minute.
I will be taking questions.
All right, Tommy, what do you think about Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce dating Taylor Swift?
It's alright. I don't really think much of it, considering I'm not really a fan of either. But I hope they find the one they most love.
Yeah, I agree. But you know some Taylor Swift songs, right? Okay. Who's your favorite musician?
Probably Bon Jovi.
Yeah. Do you know who he's dating?
No.
Who do you think he should date?
I don't know.
Me either. Well, all right. Any advice to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce?
No.
Okay.
I will be
There you go.
taking questions.
He didn't, didn't really have much.
I was hoping you were gonna ask about the relationship, and he was gonna say, "I don't think it's real. I want to see a sex tape."
He did. Afterwards, he said he needs to see a dick and a pussy. Yeah, and I was like, whoa, 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 Tommy, whoa. He said P and V, P and A, something.
Oh man, that's Bon Jovi's his favorite. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How did this happen? You listen to a lot of Bon Jovi around the house?
Come on. Well, yes, I listen to all 80s and 90s music, and the kids have just picked up what I listen to. He loves, his second favorite's the Beach Boys. He likes Bon Jovi and
That's
the Beach
good.
Boys.
That's good.
Beach Boys I did on purpose because it's very non-threatening. Everybody of all ages can listen. And I started
Yeah.
them listening to that like that when they were 6.
Yeah.
And it just stuck with them. But Bon Jovi they picked up on their own just from listening. Yeah.
I want to talk 90s country with Tommy Walker.
I don't think he can. However, my unnamed daughter can do that. She loves 90s
Oh, really?
country. She listens to all my playlists, yes.
That's cool.
She does have a name. We didn't. That would be cruel.
that was my next question.
Right.
was,
I'm just not going to say it
still
here.
waiting to
Yeah.
give her a name. Anything going on in college football? Urban Meyer to Michigan State.
I love a good October coaching rumor because you know somebody out there just said, "Hey, what if I tweet this?
Yeah.
What if I go ahead and tweet this?" And then people are like, "Oh my God!"
Urban's a perfect one because Urban would take the job, like really any job. Urban is the right level of
Right.
good football coach. I know the Jaguars thing kind of soured his
Yeah.
reputation with people, you know, his coaching abilities in some people's eyes. Still a great college football coach, but he's also someone who will. There's no job where you would be like Urban would never take that. Like I think Urban would interview for just about any job.
Well, Urban's the perfect mix right now of a legendary coach and a guy that almost universally people think is a scumbag, but as soon as a fan base hires him, well, he's not that bad.
He's
of a
not
guy.
that bad.
He's a pretty good.
Yeah.
What? He stuck his finger up. Come on,
Yeah.
this is our guy. You're just mad because he's going to recruit so good. You're just jealous. That's
Yeah.
what you are.
But also, if you're Michigan State and you're a program that just fired a guy for jacking off on the phone,
6 of one, half dozen of the other. Really, doesn't matter.
let's bring in an Urban Meyer.
But
to
can he
move.
beat Michigan? Is
Can
the
he
question.
beat Michigan? He's proven that he can beat Michigan.
When Harbaugh's with the Bears next year, can he beat Michigan?
Yeah.
Is the question.
Yeah.
College football, I'd like to throw a possibility at you.
Urban Meyer has no interest in the Michigan.
So that's
yeah.
tough for Michigan State because Urban Meyer probably has interest in anything right now.
Urban Meyer, by the way, I'm calling Cap on it. Is that how the kids? Is that correct?
Cap out the
Do
wazoo.
you call Cap?
Yeah, you call Cap.
You call
Just
Cap.
say you say Cap.
Cap.
Okay.
Urban Meyer.
You can smell Cap too.
Urban Meyer has an interest in that job. You could smell Cap.
You cannot smell Cap. He's lying.
There's a meme with SpongeBob
You can't
where
smell
he's
Cap.
sniffing Cap.
What does Cap smell like? Up dog.
I like that.
What are you gonna say? Oh,
Did you guys hear about Pete and Repeat sitting on the fence?
I always heard they were sitting in a boat.
Oh.
Do you have him on a fence?
Yeah.
I bet Pete fell off, didn't he?
Yeah.
damn it! He always does.
The fucking Pete.
Why's Pete always fall off?
Yeah,
Urban.
That's the meme.
Just smelling Cap.
I mean, that's just cocaine, right?
I think Urban's interested in any of these jobs. When USC was open, they hired Lincoln Riley, and they were talking about maybe getting Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer was interested in that job. Urban Meyer,
Yeah.
I shouldn't say every job, a job of a certain level. Michigan State is that level, but there's no world where Urban Meyer is just like, you know what? I appreciate that. I'm honored. I'm humbled that you guys would be interested in me, but I kind of have no interest in getting back into college football coaching. I have no interest in it.
Any college football fan that says, I don't want Urban Meyer is lying.
Right.
They are pure. Hugh Freeze has a job right now in the SEC.
I don't think he's going to go to Michigan State, but I think
he's not. But
he's not. But
I want to discuss him for every job.
This is why he's the perfect guy, is because there is, unlike say like Brad Stevens to Louisville fired Kenny Payne, and they're should we hire Brad Stevens? Like Brad Stevens isn't actually going to take that job, so it's kind of. I'll still do it. I'll still entertain it, but it's like
Jay Wright kind of that guy now.
Jay
too?
Wright's kind of that guy too,
Yeah.
where it's like it's never actually going to happen. But it's the off season, so let's have some content. Urban, there is a path. There is.
Yeah.
Urban has a better path to the Michigan State job than Colorado has to the playoff, and I still think Colorado's a path.
You say that
Colorado
a
has
lot. Yeah. One more thing in college football, I've got a possibility to throw at you, and I think it kicks into overdrive this weekend when Texas A&M beats Alabama. Yeah. Oh, that's spicy, right? Did you hear that? When Texas A&M beats Alabama.
Where's the game at? Kyle Field?
Kyle Field, yes.
Okay.
It's going to be all that.
Actually, that was the game I was at. That was 2 years ago.
No, that game happens this Saturday. You couldn't have been there.
I was at Texas A&M Alabama, so wrong. Again.
Oh, was it the game where the guy kicked the field goal?
Yeah. The Zach Calzada? He didn't kick the field goal, but
he was the quarterback.
He was the quarterback that came
in. That's still one of my favorite
watching
videos. His fiance watching his whole family watching the field goal and just absolutely dying of agony, and then he makes it. The possibility is this. I think the possibility of 0 SEC teams in the playoff this year is
possible. The possibility.
I think the possibility exists, and it is non-zero, and it's not even like 20-30%. Like it's an actual possibility that we have 0 SEC teams, and it's not going to take much. If Alabama takes a second loss, the West is out. Even if the West goes to Atlanta and wins, the West is going to be out. That leaves Georgia, and they are not invulnerable. They're a good team. They're one of the better teams in the country, but they can absolutely be beat. Their schedule's not that hard, but Ole Miss could beat them. Kentucky could beat them. And if they were to lose one game in the regular season and then lose to LSU or Alabama in the title game, I think the SEC's out.
Oh, fuck. You're going to make me do it. You're going to make me read Georgia's schedule.
I can almost – you know what? I need you to read it. You haven't read a good schedule in a while.
Because it all hinges on Georgia. I think Georgia.
Right. I think Alabama's taking a second loss somewhere.
Alabama, I would agree with that. Alabama will probably take a second loss somewhere. And who does that leave in the SEC if not Georgia then to make the playoff?
Well, it leaves A&M, but then A&M will probably take a second loss.
A&M's not making
it leaves
the
Ole
playoff.
Miss. Ole Miss will take a second loss. Like all these teams over there are just not.
You could have just stopped it. Like if A&M.
So it leaves nobody.
If A&M and Ole Miss are your
right.
chances, let's just stop it. We don't need.
I was saying actual physical chances, meaning one loss or less right now. Georgia's
Kentucky at home this Saturday.
5-0 Kentucky, and this is the annual. Is Kentucky real? Oh, actually, they're not.
They're not. They're not.
That happens every year.
But. Is Kentucky real?
It's a question
they're
worth
not,
asking.
but they're not, obviously.
It's a question worth asking. The bigger question is Georgia real?
Yeah.
That's an actual question this year.
At Vanderbilt.
Probably going to win that one, to be honest.
It says at Florida, but that's in Jacksonville, right? That's always
Jacksonville's in Florida.
But that's not at Florida.
No, Jacksonville's at Florida.
It's not at Florida. It's in Florida.
It's in Florida.
It's yeah. So yeah, Florida. You hate Billy Napier?
I don't hate Billy Napier. I think he's a terrible coach.
Okay.
What do you not think there's some bad basketball coaches that you don't? I mean, you don't hate them personally, but you think they're bad basketball coaches. What's that? Is there not a coach in college basketball where you're like, he's not very good, and people are like, you hate him? No, I don't hate him. I just don't think he's very good.
You put your dictionary away over there? Like, I mean, what's the difference? I said you think he's a dog shit. You've tried to get this man fired for how many years now?
I'm not trying to get him fired. I'm saying he should be fired. That's different. That's different. That's way different. I can't fire the man. I don't have the ability to fire that man. I think he's terrible.
You don't hate him. You just you think he's terrible and that he should be fired.
Correct.
Okay.
I don't hate him though. I'm sure he's a good.
You hate him as a football coach. I was talking as a football coach. Do I need to do this every single time when we talk about athletes and coach or sports players? I'm sorry.
Let me just stop you right there. Yes, you're right. I hate him as a football coach.
Yeah.
There.
Okay.
There.
You do hate him as a football coach.
I'm going to stop the argument and say you were right.
Back to what I was on, which I don't even remember.
Georgia's schedule.
Georgia's schedule. They play Florida. Despite your feelings towards Billy Napier, this Florida team, do you think is capable of beating Georgia?
No, I do not.
Okay. All right. Missouri at home. Missouri is capable
of beating Georgia.
Missouri is capable.
Yes.
Ole Miss at home.
Ole Miss is capable. Yeah.
At Tennessee.
At Tennessee, they're capable of beating Georgia, yes.
Yeah. And then at Georgia Tech.
Not capable of beating anybody.
And then the SEC championship.
Georgia Tech just snuck in a loss to Bowling Green over the weekend. Like it wasn't shit to it.
I'm really bad at SEC divisions, by the way.
There's the East and the West.
I know, and I'm really bad at knowing who's in what because everything's in the South to me.
Yeah. Well, the thing about the East and the West is
I thought it's Southeast. It's the Southeast Conference.
Auburn's in the West. Columbia, Missouri's 300 miles west of Auburn.
Yeah.
Missouri's in the East.
See, so it's not my fault really. It's.
No, I'm still blaming you.
No, it's not my fault. It's you guys down south don't know how maps work. You're from the part of the country that thinks Serbia's in Asia, So
you still haven't disproven that theory.
So Bama, Georgia would probably be the. But if A&M beats Bama, it's going to be A&M.
No, A&M if A&M were to
Georgia's in the East.
Georgia's in the East.
A&M's in the West.
Here's the West. You ready? Arkansas, Auburn, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Alabama, Arkansas, Texas A&M, and LSU.
Wow.
8 teams. 2 of them are Arkansas. In the East, you got Missouri, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Kentucky, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia.
All right.
Also Arkansas somehow.
Who's in the Pac-12?
Arkansas. Sam Pittman's everywhere, literally.
Name some teams.
Did you see that Oregon State's head coach had to apologize for milking his titties?
He apologized for that?
That's what it says here, right on the sheet. I haven't stacked my sheets in a while. Oregon State's head coach had to apologize. Ebo, explain.
It was on the blog. Reeks wrote about it in his press conference. He just issued an apology for doing it. It was inappropriate.
No, it wasn't. It was not inappropriate. It was fine.
I'm not saying it was.
I know, but can we be honest? That's not what's inappropriate about that. Tell me what's inappropriate about milking your own titties.
I don't think that's inappropriate. As a white male, I don't think that's inappropriate.
Who got offended? Cows?
As a white male, I was not offended.
The cow union spoke up.
I don't know who got offended, but I love that he did it, and I hate that this might be the end of coaches just pantomiming stuff to I would love to see a coach that's just like jack him up, and they're like jack him up.
I apologize.
Not looking just only at our players on tape, looking at myself on tape. In regards to how we signal plays at the end, communicate. Got to do things better there. So for those I offended with that, I apologize. I won't be using that signal again.
That was
kind of a weak apology.
That was a weak apology.
Yeah.
That was the apology he needed.
It feels like nobody really complained.
Yeah, he didn't really mean it. He was just like, I'm going to get out ahead of this.
Yeah.
If any of you.
He's also kind of.
Nice little squeeze. Yeah. And then he patted him.
Yeah.
And then
he almost fondled him. He's also almost laughing when he turns around.
Sam Pittman can't use that. He can't use that one.
No, it would be an X-rated movie.
Blur out the whole screen.
Yeah.
College football question I do have for you. Under the radar teams, because you talk a lot about the parity and you have all your teams in the top 5, like 12 of them, I think. Is this a? I think you said this yesterday that the difference between 2007 is you don't have the lower level like rising up.
Right.
But Could they? Could there like
Okay.
like what teams to you that are not? Because like when we talk about the ACC, when you're trying to feel out the playoff picture, you might say, all right, maybe there's an ACC team. It's going to be Florida State, or could it be Duke? Could it be North Carolina? Is that?
Well,
it
you
could be
haven't mentioned the
Miami.
one team. Yeah. I got 2 under the radar teams for 2 different reasons. Miami could be a playoff under the radar team. Like they could be really fucking good. They beat A&M to sleep, and A&M I think is a very good football team. A lot of people don't think that. I think they are. Miami beat them. They fixed their quarterback situation. Tyler Van Dyke last year had a bad year because the offensive coordinator was bad. They fixed that. I think Miami's ready to roll. This could be an 11-1, 10-2 team just sitting there. I think they're going to be in the mix to the end. But the under the radar team that's not a playoff contender, they're not good enough to go to the playoff. However, in the Big Ten East, 5-0 Maryland is just sitting there with that good-ass offense. They can't survive a whole season and finish ahead of Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State. But they might fuck around and get one of them. Like, they're dangerous enough. They could fuck around and snap one of them up and really fuck up the whole situation there in the Big Ten East. Because, like, I'll use Michigan for an example. I am not saying Michigan's going to lose to Maryland, okay? What I'm saying is the last 3 games of the season, Michigan is at Penn State. Their last game is Ohio State. And in the middle
Is at Maryland.
they go to Maryland.
Yeah.
And that's fucking dangerous. Like, I'd much rather go to Indiana or Rutgers or somewhere that I've got a guaranteed victory. I'm sorry, TJ. That
Shots
was
fired at Rutgers.
but I'd much rather, like, Maryland is a weird place to have to go in the middle of that.
Yeah.
And I think Maryland could be good enough, just like Missouri could be good enough in the SEC to knock off. Well, I guess they just did. They knocked off LSU. No, they play them this weekend. I think Ole Miss. Missouri is good enough to knock off somebody in the SEC.
Read schedule to.
No, I got it.
Okay,
Missouri
yeah,
plays
yeah,
LSU
all
this
right.
week.
To read off the Penn State schedule a little bit, Penn State.
Well, we
goes-
didn't ask for that.
Well, I'm just saying Penn State
Wait,
goes.
hold
to,
on.
No. I'm mentioning one game.
No, listen. We did not ask for Penn State schedule at all.
But I'm backing your point up. I'm saying before we play Michigan, the very week before, we go to Maryland, which could be a
it's
trap
game. Yeah.
Good point,
I'm
Connor. Good
adding
point.
to
Good
your
point.
Connor.
Good
Connor,
point.
That was a good schedule read, Connor. That was
Yeah.
that was,
Just
that was
one game.
worthwhile.
Just
that
a
was
little tease.
worthwhile. No, I think you're right. Yeah. Now, if Ohio State beats the shit out of Maryland this Saturday, maybe you walk that back. But like they could.
Well, I do think Ohio State will beat the shit out of Maryland.
But they're still. You don't think that'll.
But again, like he said, like Penn State.
Maryland's interesting. I mean, they're 5-0. Their schedule's
Talia
not been
can
great
throw.
so far.
Like they're not bad.
Yeah, I still think, despite them being 5-0, you're still like because they're unranked for a reason. The fact that a Big Ten team is 5-0 and unranked kind of speaks to like.
Oh, they've beaten no one.
uncertainty. Yeah, their schedule's terrible, and we'll know more on Saturday.
But
yeah,
so
I
is
think
Michigan's.
I think you're right. That would throw a huge wrench in the is it a Mexican standoff when there's 3 people pointing the gun?
Oh, you're
at each
thinking of
other?
The Office with
Yeah, isn't
Michael
that
Scott.
isn't that a Mexican standoff?
No, I think you're thinking of The Office.
Yeah, there was a Mexican standoff in The Office.
That was they were in Savannah though. There was a murder in Savannah.
That's the only
Caleb
show.
Crawdad did it.
That's the only show you've watched. It's not the only
No,
show.
I watched Parks and Rec as well. I got Ron Swanson quotes. A stalemate of conversation, 2 or more sides. Yeah, there's the.
Yes. So yeah, I was right. All right, good reference, Mark. Give me a point, TJ, for that.
Why do you get a point for that? I
'cause
made
it was
the
a good
reference.
reference. I was right. It's a Mexican standoff.
But I'm the one that said The Office, and The Office is actually there.
The Office has nothing to do with it. The Office didn't invent
The
the
Office has
Mexican standoff.
everything to do with everything. Oscar's in The Office. He's Mexican.
You're gonna
Penn
watch
Sta-
the
Have you seen the British
Of
one?
Of course, I've
Office?
seen the British one.
you watch the new one?
There's a new one.
They're bringing it back.
Well, how could I have watched it if they haven't brought it back?
Are you
yet?
going to watch it?
Yes.
I don't know if I'm going to watch it.
Why wouldn't I watch? I watched again. I said this last week. I watched the new Full House. Of course, I'm going to watch the new
You're
Office.
such a basic bitch.
I'm not a basic bitch. You're a
I
basic.
love The Office. And at the party, you can find me petting the dog.
What?
I'm fluent in sarcasm.
I do laugh like that a lot, though. To be fair.
The Mexican standoff with Penn State and Michigan and Ohio State,
Yeah.
and it feels like a 3. They're all going to beat each other. Maybe everyone has one loss. The home team wins every game, and they all have one loss. Maryland slips in there, throws a second loss to someone, throws a wrench in the whole
Let
system.
me throw
yeah.
another team out there like that. In the Pac-12, you've got all the top 10 teams. You've got Washington, USC, Oregon. Utah just took a loss, but we're all waiting for them to see how that unfolds. Like, Washington State could fuck one of their seasons up, too. Washington State's good.
UCLA's good, right?
Oregon State could fuck one of the – there's a lot. In the Pac-12, UCLA's not bad. In the Pac-12, you have the top level of teams who are fighting for the playoff, but right under them, the second level is very fucking good. Washington State,
USC's
Oregon State, Utah.
USC's going to fuck themselves up. I mean, USC's defense
And they also have to play Notre Dame.
Yeah, USC's going to –
That's the most fascinating game left on the schedule because I know USC can score 50 on anybody. They can give up 50 to anybody. Can Notre Dame score 50 on anybody? Like, that's the questions.
Yeah. These are questions.
These are questions.
Great
you have
questions.
to ask questions. Imagine going through life not asking questions.
Do you know about this guy, Kyle Berkshire?
Of course I know about Kyle Berkshire, but tell me what you think
I'll
about
tell the
it.
people at home because you
Okay.
know, obviously,
Yeah.
but there might be people watching. He was spitting to my Instagram algorithm in the last week or so.
Yeah.
He is a long drive guy.
Oh, yes. You told me about the long drive. This is the long drive guy. Good.
And I guess in the last couple of days, he has broken world records for the hardest hit golf ball, in a simulator, I guess, where you hit it and it tracks your ball speed, 241 miles an hour, I want to say. He also just the other day hit a 579-yard drive.
So he has figured out long drive to the level nobody else has ever figured it out.
Yeah, and then I just I've been obsessed watching his videos because he fucking smokes.
I'm
it.
going to need to
look
see.
at this dude, and he's got the long hair.
All right. He doesn't look like
And he doesn't look like a long driver, right? Long drivers to me
long
are
rangy guys, right?
Oh,
Aren't they usually? What do you think? They're big fat guys.
I picture guys named Butch.
Can I just point out it's very windy on this day.
That's a good point.
It's very windy.
Wind aided.
Where's the?
It's also in Wyoming,
What?
This isn't a
so it might be
great.
at elevation.
That's the record drive.
Oh, it's at elevation. I mean, I don't.
Listen, no, I'm not hating on it.
No. Go.
He's not always in Wyoming
It's
in
at
the wind.
6,800 feet. You
Yeah.
hit that ball.
Yeah. I'm pro cheating.
I'd like to see some
I'm
more.
on
Kyle.
the record as pro cheating.
That was expensive.
Which, by the
cheating,
way,
too. Like you got to get a plane ticket.
By the way, I didn't call you out on this. LeBron's your guy. You're anti Barry Bonds because he dopes, and then you turn around and you say LeBron James is your guy. You're gonna have to reconcile those two thoughts. At some
why?
point.
Barry Bonds has been. I mean, LeBron James has looked like LeBron James since he was
failed
16.
Okay, false. But let's go back to Kyle Berkshire. This guy
is that going over the mountain? I want that to go over the mountain really bad. It didn't.
I just
I don't want to see him do wedges.
Yeah, I just wanted to shout this guy out because he has the.
Oh, he's PFT.
Yeah, he's PFT and he just fucking smokes the golf ball, dude. He took a ton off of that and he still hits it 400 yards. But does he enter? I need to know more about him. But I saw that he broke the world record.
So it is when I see these long drive guys, I do wonder.
He just lost the club.
I do wonder. What would he have to do to the other parts of his game just to be able to function on the PGA Tour? Like if he can hit it 500 yards,
hit it straight and hit it
straight
into the hole.
I guess hit it straight.
He'd have to get better at hitting it into the hole in fewer strokes.
Huh. Now explain that to me. So if he does that, he's
you just reminded me when Bryson DeChambeau was like, "I'm going to just get massive and smoke the piss out of the ball," and then everyone in golf pretended like he unlocked some secret to the game, which is
he had a game genie.
Just hit the shit out of the ball. No one had thought about that until he came along. Long drives are funny because the fact that they're a long drive contest just kind of cracked me up. That there's no other sport where you deconstruct one element of it, and if they're not putting it on TV where they're like, we're gonna see who can make the longest shot.
You ever seen a dunk contest?
That's an exhibition within the NBA.
I feel like it's similar.
I don't think it is at all. I don't think there's a dunk contest circuit. There's long drives there are dudes that are long drive.
Okay,
guys.
yeah, you're right. You're right. You take it out and make it its own separate thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are there
okay,
dunk
got it.
contest circuits? Are there guys that's I'm a professional dunk contest
Well,
guy?
Jordan Kilgannon is one, right?
That's true.
Jordan Kilgannon is just a professional dunker that just
Really?
goes around.
Who's he?
White guy, green hair sometimes.
Let me see this guy.
Do Jordan Kilgannon All-Star game maybe, or yeah.
Every once in a while, the ESPN would have the adult softball home runs on TV, which is just a circuit where they just hit home runs.
God
in,
damn!
MLB.
Come on!
What?
That was bullshit. No, dude.
Who's this guy?
Jordan Kilgannon.
Big
No, I
on
know his
social media.
name. You've said his name.
I mean, that's pretty sick. That's pretty sick, Mark. How are you going to hate on that one?
Half the NBA could do that.
Do the All-Star game.
Half
Jordan
the NBA
Kilgannon
could do
All-Star.
that.
Maybe it's not on Instagram.
But this is my point. Is like, oh my god.
Well, that was.
This is what everybody in the league could do that.
TJ's not showing us the best ones. He's on Instagram. And
What I'm saying is there's a long drive tour. There's nobody on the PGA Tour that can do what Kyle Berkshire did. It's like it's its own entity. The dunk contests are the people within the. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's two paths. You have to decide as a golfer, do I want to be a PGA guy or a long drive guy? And I find that fascinating.
I'll say it again. There's nothing funnier than here's the All-Star game. Just a random white guy, and the All-Stars are watching him. I think he does the same dunk we've already seen, but
I'm embarrassed that I'm embarrassed for you.
He hasn't shown the good ones yet.
This is what you asked for, bro.
Dude, if this is
all right, watch this. Watch this one. He's a professional dunker. That's all I'm trying to say. Oh, that's sick. Look at the All-Stars.
That's better.
Look at the All-Stars.
We're getting there.
Well, yeah, I can't even understand what I'm seeing there. There we go. That's better.
In jeans, too.
Kyle Lowry is confused. He's befuddled.
That's better, but I mean, like we all to point out the obvious. It's because he's a scrawny white guy. But like the dunk himself that he's doing, like
it's pretty
there are
sick.
guys in the league that can do that. Obviously, there's a bunch of guys.
We've never seen anybody do it.
Do that dunk?
Yeah. Have we ever seen that dunk in the competition?
I think so.
I don't think we have.
The reach back. That's his like signature is that he like reached behind himself.
I'm pretty sure I've seen that dunk.
From this guy.
He's like not.
He never even looks like
that's not a. Dude, if Gerald Green did that, he would get a 7 in the dunk contest.
No, he wouldn't. He'd get a 50.
He would get a 7.
He'd get a 50 immediately. That's a sick dunk.
For a scrawny white guy.
For anybody. For any human being, that's a sick dunk.
All right.
You know what would make him look a lot cooler?
If he weren't a scrawny white guy?
If he had some sunglasses to go with it.
Oh.
Maybe some Shady Rays.
Yes, please.
Maybe if he geared up for the season ahead with quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. Shady Rays is an independent sunglass company that offers a world-class product that's just as good as any expensive pair that I've certainly worn. Durable frames, crystal clear optics for all outdoor activities with an extensive array of styles and colors. You're bound to find the perfect pair of Shady Rays sunglasses. If you don't love your Shady Rays, exchange for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Their team always has your back with personal and fast support. Exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out an amazing deal for the season. Go to shadyrays.com and use code MOSTLYSPORTS for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. ShadyRays.com. Mostly sports. 50% off.
Hey, Shady Rays.
All right, I'll give you.
A woman in Nebraska stole mine. If I could have some more,
some new ones. I'll give you. The dunks were impressive. Their dunks were impressive.
Really good.
I don't mean to,
he also has one,
but it's not it's not.
He also impressed Gary. You know what? I think I'm realizing something. I like dunks. I like dunks by white guys, but I really like watching black people get impressed by dunks by white guys.
And I'm telling you, the reason the black people were impressed by that was because it was a white guy. And I think
you're impressed by that regardless of who does it.
I don't mean to say it's not impressive. I'm not living in a binary scale here of yes or no. I'm saying yes, it was impressive, but I give it a 7 or 8 if that was an NBA dunk contest.
Give me Jordan Kilgannon and Gary Payton. I like seeing Gary Payton's face when he sees this dunk. Gary Payton has a good face, a good expressive face. You look like you don't want to see Jordan.
No, I do. I'm skeptical.
Why are you skeptical? Why are you always so skeptical?
Jordan Kilgannon. Like I'm not.
See, look, he's in the crowd. They don't even know who he is. Oh, I just walk out here. This is definitely not set up or anything.
It's Hank Lockwood.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Gary Payton. He can't dunk. There's no chance.
There's no way.
No way he can dunk.
That's what I'm saying. It's because he's a scrawny white guy.
It is Hank Lockwood.
He looks like Hank.
Yeah. Dunking in skinny jeans, impressive? Yes? No?
That's the most important part, or the most impressive part about the dunk he did. He was in jeans. I'll give you that.
Oh! Okay. So I like Gary Payton. I like Gary Payton's face. He has a good face. Gary Payton. Tell me Gary Payton doesn't have a good face.
That was a good face. Yeah.
Not a great dunk.
That's also a 9-foot rim, dude. Gary Payton's holding the ball up. It's like almost to the rim. Yeah, Gary Payton's holding the ball up, and it's like almost to the rim.
Why don't you believe in anything? I wish you would believe in things.
I don't know.
When I dunk at the new place,
Brandon's gonna bring WWE clips into the show and be like, "Look how hard this guy punched. He cocked it and everything."
Are you saying I'm not going to be able to dunk at the new place?
Yes.
Give me 3 years.
Okay.
Which is what we'll need because we won't be in the new
You were
place.
working out last night, right?
I did. Thank you, Ebo. I went to the Anytime
I did
Fitness.
my research.
How high did you put the incline on the walking treadmill?
Oh, no. We're just getting started. 2 miles on the treadmill, 2K meters on the rower, and then I looked at the weights.
I don't think we want you to get skinny. I don't think I want skinny Brandon.
Why not?
Because it'll.
TJ can get skinny and I can't get skinny?
Yeah, I want TJ to get skinny, but not you. See how it feels? See how it feels when you say that to TJ? You don't want him to get skinny?
Well, my new antidepressant medication probably says it's going to make me gain weight, so we'll see.
TJ, can you do? I don't know if I want to make this a segment or anything, but I just we've used the term "Remember Wednesday" a lot in prepping for the show, and we've never actually done that on Wednesday.
Well, let's do it now.
So I thought I wanted TJ to just Google what happened on this day.
On
this day in history. Yeah.
You see clearly? On this day, I see clearly. Far oh, wait, not sports history, but all history?
I don't know. Sputnik launched.
That was a Russian satellite.
Yeah.
Englishman wins first U.S. Open golf tournament. That's bullshit.
I didn't realize that. We let an Englishman win the
first one?
the U.S. Open.
Why didn't we just say, psych, this isn't it? It's actually next week. Beverly Hills 90210. Did you ever watch that?
No, I didn't. I never did watch
Janis Joplin dies of a heroin overdose. Can you name 2 songs about Janis Joplin?
Mercedes-Benz and her other one.
Yeah, agreed.
Plane crashes into apartment building. What?
That would later get passed by some bigger news.
Yeah. What the
fuck?
A cargo plane. I mean, I don't. Yeah. All right. People lost their lives. I don't mean to make light of this, but also.
Oh, good. Rock Hudson died of AIDS. Not good.
They just gave me the wrong date.
Well, why are we on October 2nd? Let's get back to October.
What's going on?
Who died of AIDS on October 4th?
Let's do Remember When trivia.
Walker told me I have AIDS.
I saw a clip.
Why was that even on that show?
There was have you seen the Captain Planet clip where they're doing an AIDS awareness I don't know what the context was, but there's a boo hiss from the crowd where they're like, "Boo, he has AIDS."
Walker told me I have AIDS.
There's a clip at Captain Planet that's the same thing. Walker told me he has AIDS. I want to do Remember When trivia where TJ pulls up the Remember When and we go until we all find something we remembered.
Okay. All right. From our lives?
Until we all can say yes.
Okay.
You scroll through, it would probably have to be from our lives because it'd be hard to remember something.
It would be, yeah.
That didn't happen.
Yeah. I remember when the Titanic sank. I saw the movie.
Yeah.
I'd like to go back to Remember Wednesday. We had more meat on the bone there for what happened on this day.
On this day, yeah, it is October 4th, huh?
Well, Charlton Heston was born in Evanston, Illinois. I didn't know that. Jean-Claude Van Davelaire. Okay. It's too
a
small.
Haitian politician who was president died. Do you remember that, Ebo?
I think that was a little bit before me.
I remember the shit popping off in Somalia.
Buster
Mogadishu.
Keaton was known for his deadpan expression and magic. Dude, that's something, I threw out the deal about the time machine. If you go back in time and invent something or whatever, maybe that's it. Is I would go back in time and just take Charlie Chaplin's whole act and just
yeah.
And just or I would go back in time and just be a mime and everyone would be like, this is the funniest motherfucker we've ever seen. Oh my God, he's in a box.
Fuck. Where'd he get a rope?
I would do that. Yeah.
When you say go back in time, you go back 500 years and do it.
All right, so that was a dud, I guess.
I
guess it's harder to find a list. Is it harder? What's going on over there, TJ?
What?
I don't know. I wanted a list of shit that happened.
Skinny TJ's not as sharp.
That was it. What? That was a list of things.
I felt like that was easy.
I thought you meant in sports.
I kind of meant in sports.
Do the same thing in sports.
I don't know. I thought that would be an easy thing to look up.
It's okay. It's just TJ. You know how he is.
I can't change what happened on this day in history.
Maybe this day just sucks.
Make cooler shit happen, TJ. Chicago Cubs beat the Pittsburgh Pirates.
All right, get closer to us. Get closer to our time. I was born in 1994. What'd you look at me like that for?
The Solheim Cup.
Jim Larry. Oh, well.
I met him.
Left wing Mike Donnelly. Wow.
Oh,
stick to sports, Mike Donnelly.
Shahid Afridi breaks the record for fastest 100 in one-day cricket. Mick Doohan.
Do you remember when rain prevented play on the final day of the third cricket test between?
I do remember that. Yeah.
Sri Lanka and Australia.
Because the second
and
cricket
Colombo?
test was so amazing.
If you scroll the bottom, there's one you might actually remember.
Wait, Barry Bonds.
Oh.
He hit a home run.
Giant slugger
70th.
Barry Bonds hits his 70th home run.
Yeah.
In a 10-2 win versus Houston.
Also, his
I
head
remember
swells
that. Do you
to
remember
size
that?
9.
Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
Do you remember that, Connor?
I don't remember that.
Fuck.
Why not?
2012. Wait. Tom Brady becomes only the third quarterback to record 500 career touchdown passes as he connects with Josh Gordon in Patriots' 38-24 win over the Colts in Foxborough. Just going to ignore that. I think the best way to handle it is just ignore it. New York Yankees slugger Aaron Judge breaks Roger Maris's AL single-season home run record when he slams a 60-second homer. Does everybody remember that?
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Yeah, I was
Everybody
watching
remember
a
that?
college football game
All
at
right,
the
there
time.
we go. Point for all of us. We remember.
I just broke my hand. Nikola Jokic was asked.
How'd you break your hand?
I don't know what I was even doing, but I bopped my mic real hard. I bopped it. We should do bop it. Bring a bop it.
Twist it.
Deal. Those are expensive now.
Have those become trendy?
I think the original Boppets are pretty expensive online. Because the new Boppet only has 3 things on it.
There's no way you're good at bop it.
Not at all.
You freak out. You look like you're handed a grenade that just had the
Correct,
pin pulled out of it, and you're just like.
Are you good at bop it?
Pretty good. I mean, it says bop it, and I do bop it.
What, do you twist it?
I can twist it. My
Name all the commands. Bop it.
Twist it. Flick it.
Flick it.
I've always been good at flicking it. That's something people say
Spin
about
it.
me.
And pull it.
Pull it. I've been great at pulling it. I pulled, before all my friends knew how to pull it. I was pulling it. The spin it, I think, is the one that.
Is it spin it or twist it?
Twist it.
Yeah.
Twist it, bop it, pull it, flick it,
Suck it.
suck it. You're good at that one.
Yes, I'm good. But the game always stops when I do that. $212.
No, spin it. Spin it is the wheel. The wheel.
Yeah. So twist it.
Twist
Yeah.
it is turn
There's
it.
2 different things.
Spin it is the.
All right. That's pull it on the bottom left.
But this is extreme. This is the extreme version.
Yeah, but let's still do it. That's flick it top right. That's spin it bottom
Twist
right.
it, spin it.
Twist it top left and
pull
then
it,
flick it.
bop it.
The OG one just had 2. It was bop it and then like pull it, and
Mm-hmm.
there's only, it was like a shake weight almost, right? It was just like a stick.
Bop
Yeah.
it.
And then this one added a couple and it made it extreme.
These are also all my commands to my wife at night.
Extreme. Bop it extreme. Bleh.
Why the bleh?
You don't remember the 90s?
I do remember the 90s. Oh, very well.
Extreme.
Everything was extreme, yeah.
Football, but it's fucking extreme this time. Bleh.
And then they'd put a Z on the end of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not S's, Z's.
We talked about this on the original Jersey Day, I believe. But
Did we?
Yeah. I
By the
know.
way, are you going to wear a jersey tomorrow, or did you already blow your fucking load, you asshole?
I'll be wearing a jersey tomorrow. I told you I had one in the store.
Is this a jersey?
This is a jersey.
Yeah, does this count as like edging for Jersey
I-
Day?
I think this is turn around.
I
Turn
said
around.
explicitly
Turn around.
yesterday I was wearing a jersey. Here, I don't know what the best way.
You don't know what the best way to turn around
All
is?
right.
To the camera. Roy Halladay.
R.I.P. Roy Halladay.
Yeah, you kind of shit all over us there with a dead guy.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Not much
Shame
you
on
can
you.
say.
I said I was going to wear a jersey today, and then I had
Top
a
10
jersey
dead guys?
tomorrow.
Okay.
Top 10 dead guys. Let's name dead guys. Go.
Elvis.
Kobe Bryant.
Prince.
Regis Philbin, who you used yesterday.
Roy Halladay.
Damn, that's a good one. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Bob Barker.
Oh, fuck.
He just died. Yeah. Who's
Reggie White.
Yeah, he did die. Abner Dalrymple.
Jesus.
No, he lives on through all of us, Brandon.
Yeah, that's,
sorry.
that's actually wrong.
Sorry, my brother in
So,
Christ.
is that it?
Do you want to talk about the college basketball? thing
I
maybe?
do want to tell you about it because November 8th, you and I will be front and center when we're we're basically the host for the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
We might get to play. Get ready for a college basketball experience like no other. The Barstool Sports Invitational back again Wednesday, November 8th. This is not far away now. This is about a month and 4 days, to be honest. This time, Wintrust Arena in Chicago. In the first part of the doubleheader, we have Final Four participant FAU, returning most of their team from the Final Four run last year against one-time Final Four participant Loyola Chicago. Well, that's a pretty phenomenal mid-major matchup, is it not?
It should be pretty good. FAU will probably be top 10. FAU will be ranked 9th in the country.
Yeah.
Loyola will be unranked, but they're frisky. They got.
They're at home.
Yeah, Sister Jean will probably be there. I imagine. I don't know. I don't
Sister
have
Jean's going to be at a Barstool event. I don't
have any confirmation, but actually, no, I can't say that.
Yeah, don't say that.
I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
Yeah, but FAU should be a top 10 team.
FAU against Loyola Chicago, and then in the main event, the tip-off is set for 6 p.m. Central Time on that one. In the main event, we have the battle of Brandon Walker versus Bobby Hurley. That is actually written on the sheet. I'm not lying. Mississippi State takes on Arizona State. 2 potential tournament teams, I would say. We're definitely a potential tournament team. I don't know about them.
Mississippi State will be ranked 23rd probably when this game takes place.
Yep.
Arizona State will be unranked, but they'll be real frisky. They'll pull the upset in this game, and then they'll be ranked in the next poll.
Why do you have to do one time? Just one time at this company, can I get a partner that wants to be on my side? Be on my side once. Be on my team.
Here's my question. Are you even going to be watching because you're an NBA guy?
I'm going to be there.
Okay. All right.
We're going to be sitting side by side hosting this thing in suits. You want to go full 70s suits, leisure suits?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Let's do that.
You
go mustache?
Like the big collar that pops out.
Yeah.
The
butterfly collars.
Yeah.
And showing our chest hair?
Chain. Yeah, it's chest hair with the chain.
I'll have to grow chest hair. You want to go mustache?
I'm gonna you want to borrow some of mine and tape it?
Tickets are on sale now. Get them at Barstool. This real? Get them at barstool.link You read this, Ebo? There you go. Barstool.link/invitation. 2000.
I thought you were about to hand me something with like a %20.
Barstool.link/2023 invitation.
Thank you very much, Mark. I could not get that out of my mouth. All right. Anything else?
All right. I don't know. I think that's it. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
And that's how ball is done.